Do you sometimes find yourself engaging in behaviors you know are bad for you but feel like you can't stop or don't understand why you're doing them? According to clinical social worker Katie Gillis, harmful behavior patterns can develop as a response to psychological trauma. We might learn to react and behave in ways that help us overcome a traumatic experience, but these behaviors can ultimately harm us in the long run. With that said, here are 5 examples of harmful behaviors you may engage in that are actually trauma responses. 1. Social withdrawal. According to psychologist Katie Gillis, social withdrawal is a common trauma response for 2 reasons. First, trauma harms its victim's self-esteem, and second, it negatively impacts their worldview. Victims often see the world as a dangerous and unsafe place, other people as malicious and untrustworthy, and themselves as damaged and unworthy. 2. Lashing out. Anger is a common reaction to trauma, explained psychologist Dr. Seth J. Gillihan, and it can persist long after the traumatic event ends. You may feel anger at yourself for what happened, at others for not seeing it or helping you sooner, or at the world in general when you're unable to make sense of it all. This anger is often accompanied by sadness, fear, and anxiety. 3. Overworking yourself. Do you feel a strong need to constantly keep yourself busy and have difficulty relaxing or enjoying yourself when you're not? Do you feel anxious when you have nothing to do? According to psychologist Dr. Brad CLA, people like this use their work as a way to keep themselves occupied and avoid difficult thoughts or emotions like those related to unhealed trauma. 4. Freezing up. Freezing is a common trauma response, especially when the nature of the trauma has led the victim to believe that they're better off making themselves as non-threatening as possible. Some examples of how an unhealthy freeze response can manifest include dissociating frequently, zoning out, having brain fog, becoming emotionally numb, having difficulty making decisions or taking action, and experiencing a paralyzing fear of trying new things. 5. Fawning. Fawning is a commonly overlooked trauma response where individuals aim to please others to avoid conflict or harm. It was first studied by therapist Pete Walker, who noted that survivors of childhood abuse and trauma often learned to please the person threatening them to feel safe. Signs include doing things you don't want to, over-apologizing, difficulty saying no, and feeling guilty about receiving help. So what are your thoughts on this video? Do any of the things we've talked about here resonate with you? If you got a lot out of this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with those who might need it. And remember, you matter.